I feel like there's a balance between giving people what they want and making similar types of content, but then also trying a bunch of different things and seeing what else people might like.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Myth Barkers, where we make dog parenting easier by sniffing out the facts and debunking dog tales.
So last week we spoke with Colleen Wilson, who is the founder and creator of Pets on Cue, a successful agency that represents a lot of prominent animal talent that's used in entertainment, along with The Animal List, which is a new online marketplace that brings together people who want to hire pet talent and those pet parents who want to book their pets for business. We heard from a business perspective really how big the industry is, and we thought it'd be really interesting to sit down with one of a very successful dog creators that I'm sure all of you have seen on Instagram and hear what the experience is like directly from their perspective.
So, our guest today is the creator behind the successful account Little Bear Lumi, which features her incredibly beautiful and charismatic Samoyed and their adventures all over New York City. She launched her account back in 2021 after she and her now husband, Ben, welcomed Lumi into their home. But it wasn't until a video of Lumi riding the New York City subway in a backpack went viral that catapulted them into the spotlight. Now she uses her platform to share the joys and realities of life with a large dog living in New York City. Please join us in welcoming Jackie Jacob to Myth Barkers. Hi, Jackie.
Oh my gosh, that's the first time using my married name also. So you said that and I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my God, that was so
We gotta talk about this wedding a little bit
I
because
know.
it was covered by the New York Times and Lumi was the ring bearer. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, that must have been such a magical experience.
I mean, like, let's be real. Like, everyone really came to watch him walk down the aisle. Like, forget me and my husband. Like, it was everyone came to make sure Lumi like brought us the rings because for a second there I was like, should we give him them? Should we give him the rings? Like, that seems really scary because you can tell by Lumi's content that he's just very derpy and sometimes like the brain cell it gets lost in translation. um but it was amazing. Probably one of the best days of my life, maybe the best day of my life. And it all just went perfectly. It was very surreal when we got an email from the New York Times asking to cover the story after one of the videos went viral from our wedding. And I kind of just thought it would be like a little side column thing. Like, I did not have any expectations, and not in a bad way. Like, I'm always the type of person to go in like with very low expectations to anything, which like may be sad, but also it's the kind of like don't count your chickens before they hatch type thing. And then when it came out, because they didn't really tell us like how long it's going to be or whatever, they kind of just interviewed us for 45 minutes and they were like, okay, yeah, like we'll let you know what issue it is. And we're like, got it. Comes out, it's like half of the first page. And
I love
just a
it.
big picture of the three of us, like me, my husband, and Lumi. And yeah, the amount of texts, emails, calls I was getting, it was wild. It was incredible. Very surreal.
You know why I love this so much? First of all, please take credit for this as well because it's also the brains and effort behind the dogs that catapult them into success and create the scenario. And also, what I really love about this is like Laura and I have been talking about how family dynamics are changing and our pets are really, really becoming like a front and center part of our family. And the fact that, you incorporated Lumi into your wedding in such a beautiful way and that you got such great coverage out of it so that other pet parents can feel motivated and encouraged to do the same. I'm all about this because
Yes.
why aren't we including our dogs in like literally everything that we do and we celebrate?
Totally. No, 100%. And me and Ben, my husband, we got Lumi together. It was a joint decision, and it only felt right to include him in the ceremony, making it extra special, but also just like, I don't know, like we all have gone through so much together.
Yeah.
So it just felt not just right, but I guess like mandatory in the sense that like we felt like we needed to because then that would complete our day. Like every member of family would be there, and we also wanted to do what Lumi was comfortable with. He's a dog that loves people, so like being around 180 people was totally, if anything, it was like his heaven.
Yeah.
But like I know some dogs don't like that, and I wanted to show that like it doesn't have to just be like maybe having your dog walk down the aisle. Like we also did a little special meal for Lumi with just the three of us after he walked down the aisle.
I love it.
Just I give him a treat. But if your dog doesn't like being surrounded by people, like maybe that's good. Or we also did pictures, just the three of us before, and we did a first look. Like we just wanted to show all the different ways like you can incorporate your dog in the wedding. It doesn't just have to be at the real thing. Like there are so many little special moments that you can do for like any type of person. So I know I'm
Wait,
happy that it all did well.
I
that would
love
be
that.
such a cool video to watch. I would watch that and like share it with my friends. If they're getting married and they have a dog, I'd be like, okay, these are the many, many ways that you could do it. You can choose one, you can choose them all, but
Yeah.
like, let's
Oh
have
my God, are you
fun.
kidding? Like there were so many other things we did that included Lumi, but he wasn't physically there. Like we put him on the cocktail napkins. We put him on the bar sign. He had a little specialty drink. Like just other little fun ways that like if your dog say would not fly, like being out in public for that long of a day, there's other ways. It doesn't always have to be physical. So I love that, and I hope other people do it too because it was amazing.
We definitely want to talk to you about like how mindful you are of Lumi and being a part of your everyday experiences, and also recognizing that maybe not all dogs are like that. But before we get into that, like how did this whole journey begin? You said you and Ben, made the decision to get Lumi together. Was this originally the plan from the beginning to bring a dog into your family and start an account?
Oh, freaking Al. No. I have grown up with dogs. I've always loved dogs since I was little. Ben never grew up with a dog. Did he? I think he like maybe had a goldfish, no lie. So when I basically said to him like we're getting a dog or we're breaking up, he was like, I guess we're getting a dog.
Oh, wow. That was a
Yeah,
pretty powerful stance.
pretty no,
Good
like it
ultimatum.
Yeah.
took a lot of years of convincing. Then we got Lumi. I mean, I had wanted a Samoyed like since I was 11, and just a lot of convincing, a lot of research, a lot of time, and understanding the schedule that we would have to have like a high maintenance dog like a Samoyed. They're definitely not low maintenance dogs. Um, but we got Lumi when we lived in Seattle, and I had no intention of starting an account. I literally didn't even have a Facebook, I think, until like I went to college. Like I didn't have an Instagram. My college friends would try and make me get one. And then when we got Lumi, my sister basically said, like, this dog is too cute not to post on Instagram. Like, so basically after she made the account, she gave me the username and password and was like, here you go. I'll like teach you how to post. Because I was that like technologically dumb. After the first couple posts, I did not use the account for like 6 months. Like the first 6 months of Lumi being with us, like I just kind of forgot about it. We moved to New York City, and I was like, you know what? Now that I'm like kind of back with my friends and family, like maybe it's kind of like a photo album. Like I can just keep my memories there without overusing my phone storage. Months go by, and then we realized that the MTA requires dogs to be in a backpack. And I was like, well, this dog's already like 40 pounds. Like how the hell am
What's
I
in a
gonna
backpack?
yeah, like what? Like a Santa sack? Like I'm confused. So we literally searched online, backpack for dogs over 30 pounds. One came up, we ordered it, and then we ended up putting him in the backpack. He was so chill. He's just
Wow.
like
The first time.
totally first time he was just yeah, because he like loves attention. I mean, he's an attention whore. Like literally anyone who will come up to him and touch him and look at him like he's the happiest he's ever been. So everyone loved it on the subway, and at the time, my husband, who was my boyfriend, took a video, and we are like, let's just post it on his Instagram because like it's for friends and family. Like it'll just be so funny. We went to bed. We woke up the next morning and it had like 10 million views. Like just like a ridiculous, yeah, like just ridiculous.
What?
It was crazy. And all of a sudden we started getting emails like, oh, like come on Good Morning America, come on the Today Show, come on the Sherry Show. Inside Edition came and did part of an episode on us. And I think in 1 month we went on 5 shows. And
Wow.
I was in medicine at the time, and I was applying to go to PA school. So this was like still not on my mind to be doing social media. I didn't even know you could make money from it. I just thought this was like funny. And, beginning of 2024, I finally was like, I think I actually like doing this better than I like being in medicine. So I quit that job, and yeah, the rest is history.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
So,
Oh, I
yeah,
mean,
that was a lot.
I can relate to when things happen like very, very quickly. It's kind of like whiplash, but I feel like,
Yes.
during the time that it went viral, it was actually a moment when a lot of people needed laughter. They needed levity. They needed something that could brighten up their day. And if anything was gonna go viral, it really should have been a dog, a super cute dog in a backpack. So I feel like that's absolutely appropriate.
Looking back, it makes total sense. But in the moment, since, I was never on social media, I didn't know how social media worked. I did not understand that people had their lives and jobs revolve around social media. So at the time, you phrased it perfectly, whiplash. Just in almost like a constant state of confusion. Um, but looking back, like it was incredible. I wouldn't change a thing about it. It can be a lot, and in
Yeah.
a good way. But also when you don't mean for things to happen, it definitely can smack you in the face.
I mean, I think there's a huge learning curve, but at the same time, that is the best way to learn. You're almost like propelled into it, and you kind of have to be like, oh my God,
100%.
I'm forced to do this. But like now I'm like learning so fast. Um, so in the beginning, when you're like, okay, yes, this is actually happening. There's potential here. Is there something about Lumi where you were like, I get it. I get why you went viral. Like I get why this is happening.
No, 100%. I totally do. And I think a lot of it is the fact that he is just, I mean, his face is like perpetually happy. Like he looks like he's on drugs all the time, but like the best kind. Like you look at him and you're like, I want to be on what he's on. Like that is kind of his vibe.
Yeah.
And like it makes people smile and it makes me laugh thinking about like his tongue like hanging out the side of his mouth and he looks like he has no idea where he is. And honestly, like I'm sure also people are envious of that because they're like, this dog is just he's just going for the ride. Like I wish I was like that. But I honestly just think he's so funny how he just totally vibes out, whether in the
Mm.
backpack or walking around New York City. And I feel like that's part of the reason why Lumi is so fun to watch because he's just like so happy living in the moment.
I mean, even talking about Lumi like makes me smile because like I get that exact image that you're talking about. Just absolutely pure, cute, down for everything. And I love how you mentioned like during the wedding, Lumi like loved saying hi to people and loves being around people. And I think it's just like such a vibe. So I'm glad that you got to see that star quality. It's almost like everyone in your life saw it and then like he went viral and then you're like, yeah, 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 I see that too.
That's crazy you said that because my mom a couple months ago was like, 10 years ago, if you told me you'd be doing this, I'd be like, no. But after thinking about it for a couple minutes, you're the only person who would probably do that. Like basically exactly what you just said. And honestly, with a dog like Lumi, he makes it so incredibly easy, and I'm very lucky. I love how he makes other people smile because it's so great. It's so great watching people look at a dog who's just so in the moment and he just has that like perpetual smile on his face. So yeah, it's very rewarding not just to see what we've built but also just to see his effect on other people.
Yes, it's infectious, and I would love to have aura like that one day.
Yeah.
That is my dream goal.
I'm yeah, still waiting for it to be passed on to me.
I saw the video that you posted recently. I was like, oh yeah, what does Ben do when you're having a bad day? And it's just like I think it's impossible to be in a bad mood or upset when you have Lumi kind of in your life and just in your space. How much was it like trial and error in the beginning, right? So you said this wasn't the plan. You posted this one video, not thinking anything of it. And I'm asking this because we have a lot of people who are curious. They have their pets. They want to share their pets in a similar light. Like, how much was it trial and error and trying to get viral in the future versus kind of continuing on your way before you reached the level of success that you've had?
I mean, going into it not knowing anything definitely makes it a lot harder because I wasn't on Instagram before, like I said, watching other creators. So I was kind of thrown into this and was like, okay, well, now that this video has gone viral and like 50,000 people just followed Lumi overnight, like I like have to deliver. I have to do something. And I wanted to, but I didn't know how. So I felt like, I'm not even kidding. I was like, I have to study. Like, I don't know, I have to study and like learn. So I followed a bunch of dog accounts and I was like, okay, like maybe like I have to learn how to edit this way. And I downloaded InShot and CapCut. And this is so kind of like millennial of me, but I literally went on YouTube and like learned from watching YouTube videos how to work CapCut and InShot. Like I would watch like 30-minute YouTube videos, and that was honestly like most of what I was doing at first was just like learning how to edit because
Mm.
I was not technologically advanced at all. And I think a lot of creators will say if one thing works, like keep going with it. Like keep doing it just in a variation, like in a different bunch of different types of ways. So that's kind of what I did. Whenever we would bring Lumi to like the vet or the dog park or a friend's house or wherever, and he was in the backpack, like I would just take a video and I would just post it and it would do well again and again and again. And, you know, there's always going to be like these trends that you have for your page. I'm sure you've like found a similar thing like with like your dog account because of course like with fashion and dressing dogs up and like there's definitely like looks people love or like videos that people kind of cling to, and you want to keep that going, but then you're also trying to find new trends and new things that you can get into. So it was just
Yep.
like a lot of experimentation,
Hmm.
but a lot of also like giving people what they wanted while like simultaneously like learning how to like be an influencer and like create and edit.
I think it's actually really great that when you first started, you didn't really have any like template to go off of in a way, because I've been in this space for over 10 years, and like I watched this video by Adam Mosseri yesterday, and he was talking about how everything is constantly always evolving. Everything is changing. So if you're a creator, you can't be like, I figured it out. That's the moment you already lost, because it's like constantly churning. So in a way, it's really good that you didn't have like any idea of what should a post be. You could
Mm.
figure that out on your own, and you already had a case study that was absolutely successful. So you're like, okay, this is his like part of his identity. He's like really good at backpacks and he's super cute. I really love that, because I think you can also get into the dangers of like having content that's too similar to other people. So I'm very glad that you carved that space out for yourself and continued to show Lumi in a backpack, because like honestly it's so cute, and I'm never gonna like see it on my feed and go like in a backpack again. Like I'm always gonna be like, hell yeah, Lumi's in a backpack. Like that brightens my day like immediately.
Oh, I love it. No,
Yeah.
and I feel like there's a balance between, and you might feel this way too from being in the space as well, but there's a balance between, giving people what they want and making similar types of content, but then also trying a bunch of different things and
Yes.
seeing what else people might like. So as much as I, love taking videos of Lumi in the backpack and, going on the subway and seeing people's reactions, like it's so great. It also kind of opened my eyes, like after this video went viral, of thinking like, oh my God, there's so many other things on Instagram that people love. Like, what if I try that? And
Hmm.
so the backpack thing has definitely been the most constant over the past like 3 years we've been doing this. But now I feel like we've gotten into so many other niches,
Yes.
all because of just like evolving content, what's new and what's coming out. Like you had said from the video you watched, like it's constantly evolving, which is good, but it's also kind of stressful.
It's a
It
lot, right?
is.
Because it never stops. Like you have to constantly be thinking. How much are you constantly thinking like, okay, what's next? How far are
Every
you
day,
yeah.
every single day, honestly, every single day, like every hour.
Wow, that's
Like all the time. No, I'm
dedication.
I'm psycho. Like it's, and that's why I'm good and not good for this profession, because I feel like from what I was trying to do before and go into medicine, like you have to be perfect, or like you have to know what you're gonna do and you have to map it out, and everything is a step in a certain direction. And I think with content creation, like there's a similarity where like everyone is just striving for like their perfection.
Mm.
And it's hard to turn your brain off and think like, okay, well, what do I need to do to get like to this like goal, and then this one and this one, and it's just like constantly trying to think of like the next thing that you need to do. And I feel like it's a blessing and a curse because sometimes, it's like that creativity will get you to amazing places you never thought. And then other times you're like, I can't shut my damn brain off and I'm gonna
Mm.
go crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally relate to that. I'm shocked. You said 3 years you've had this account. Like the
Yes.
Wow.
growth and engagement within 3 years has been absolutely astounding. What are some of your best learnings during this stage?
Um, don't be afraid to post something. Just do it.
Mm.
Because I feel like so many videos I've posted that I was like, "Oh, I just don't think this is gonna do well," or, I don't really like it. It's not one of my best videos. The lighting isn't good and the camera's kind of blurry. I posted it and then it's gone like crazy viral. You just
Mm.
never know. So I think my biggest lesson is like post the video you're not really sure if you should post. Or if there's not the best lighting, that's okay. It might honestly do really well because there's not great lighting and people might want to watch it again. Who knows? So I think that's probably my biggest takeaway is like don't be afraid to post something just because you don't think it'll do well. But that doesn't mean Instagram is going to think it's not going to do well. You don't know what the
Yep.
algorithm is going to think. You have no idea. That's why it's so crazy.
That's a really good tip because, again, like what people care about is so different. Like
Mm.
we as creators may think about the quality and like really obsess over that, but the regular Instagram user might not care at all. They might just want to see a very, very cute dog. It doesn't matter where they are, what the lighting is. It could be the context, the situation that makes it hilarious. So to not overthink it.
There are so many videos I watch. I I kind of try and separate myself like from like creator watching to like fun watching because I feel like they're totally different mindsets and sometimes like I just want to brain rot, Like
Yeah,
creators want to brain rot too.
that's right.
And and sometimes when I'm just scrolling on Instagram or TikTok and it's like the video is filmed in the dark and it's like kind of weird, but it's really funny. Like I don't know why, like those candid videos are just more real life and I love watching it. But it's so funny that you say, your creator brain, you're trying to make it perfect, you're trying to make the lighting perfect. When I'm like thinking in my creator brain about like filming something, all that goes out the window, which
Mm.
is really
Interesting.
frustrating because I really wish that I could be like, oh, you know what? The sunset, it's kind of dark out, like whatever, like, it's more like candid, it's natural, like this is real life. And then, that creator brain is like, you need your light to like film over the phone, blah blah. Like this isn't gonna do well. Like it's like I'm a Virgo. It's like awful. Like the two like parts of me are like literally clashing together.
I think what I'm hearing, because this is not a space that I'm in, it's very different. It's a lot of work, but like clearly
Mm.
your passion and dedication is so authentic and shines through that like it's yes, it is Lumi, but it's also what Yana said when we started, like it's also you. It's the person behind the camera that's like bringing this all to life and sharing Lumi with the world, which is so special, I think. Um, Lumi seems like a very special one of a kind dog that maybe he's just so easy and is happy to go along. How do you balance like Lumi as a working animal, working pet, and like letting him just be a dog?
Yeah. I mean, he
Is
technically
that
is a working dog. So, you're right
yeah?
about that. Samoyeds are working dogs. That's really hard. I actually feel like I still struggle with that. Just like I'm being completely transparent. I don't even know if I've ever like talked about this publicly before, but there are definitely times where I'm like, am I being a bad dog parent? Like, am I making him film longer than he wants to? Or, does he not want to be in this building right now doing a office visit for a brand that we're going to film for in a second? Like, would he be better off just going for long walks in the park and then being at home and not doing any of this? I feel like since you can't obviously read your dog's mind and dogs only offer a certain amount of cues, there's a lot of just the human brain wondering. And dogs also don't have like that inner monologue that we have, or they don't have certain thought processes that humans do. So I feel like we try and like personify them and like think about how they feel in certain moments when like sometimes like they don't really even really feel anything because scientifically like they're not human beings. And as much as I treat Lumi like one sometimes, I also remember that he's not. He's totally different than me. And sometimes he doesn't excuse me, like give a shit where he is, you know? And sometimes as long as he's getting treats and like being with me, he totally doesn't care. But me overthinking in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, is he comfortable right now? Like, is he okay? Like, should I take him for a
Mm.
long walk? Like, I don't know, you know, if anyone has learned to balance that, those inner thoughts, like hit me up, you know, like that'd be great. But like full transparency, I'm still figuring it out. And I really try and give him like those mental breaks. I really do. We only film for like 10 minutes at a time, if anything, and then we'll take like a half an hour break and then like we'll do it again if we need to. Backpack content's actually pretty easy because like we're never going super far. So like he's in the backpack for like less than 10 minutes and you're just like filming as you're going anyway. But definitely for like those more in-depth videos where they're brand videos or where I'm a little more involved and it takes a longer time to like set up the camera and stuff. Like I'm trying to be very mindful of his capacity to work and like how much I'm pushing him so that he can still enjoy it.
Yeah. I I think one part of that I've practiced myself is taking those breaks because depending on the environment, like sometimes he just has the span to be engaged for about half an hour and that's it.
Yeah,
So I'll let the brand know and I'll say, hey, so we can't have like a 5 hour thing because that's way too long. We can do 2 hours and I can have a walk break in between and we can shoot in increments where we have like you said 10 minutes or 15 minutes then we take a break. There's so many different ways we can navigate this and make it, like you said, so easy that the dog doesn't even notice that they're at a project.
exactly.
They're
Yeah.
just having a good time. And I think it really helps that Lumi's a people person or a people dog.
Yes. Yes. I'm
Because then
definitely
it's,
very lucky. Yeah.
yeah, because then it's like all fun and, he's still with his parents or his mom. So he's like, yeah, that's great. Do you have any fun stories from set or shoot that you can share with us?
Oh, definitely. We actually very recently we went to Fanatics headquarters, which, you know, for Tops they do all of the sports cards and something's actually coming really exciting in
Oh, okay.
Q1 of 2026. But we did an office visit and you know we had to go and like film a little for this project we're working on. Can't say the project yet, but
I
you
can
know,
kind of guess.
I think you can kind of guess. They only make one product.
Yeah.
So we went to their headquarters, which is like 5 blocks away from us, and there's tons of people in this office. And we were gonna go film for this project, but we were also just gonna go say hi to the people who work at Tops. And Lumi obviously was so excited to see everyone, and they were so excited. They're like they're the voices and everything, and he's like going around like showing off his booty, like he's working it. Um, and then he grabs out of someone's backpack and it's like a deck of like baseball cards. Like he's just like going through people's crap and everyone loved it. And someone screams, "This is better than Tom Brady coming to the office yesterday." And like I was dying
Wow.
laughing. And it was obviously a very funny moment because you're comparing my dog to Tom Brady, but also just like hearing that in real life, in real time was just so wild. Like, whoa, people like really love this dog. Like just
Yeah.
like not just me. So that was a funny little thing that happened.
I love that. And you know what? Maybe Lumi knew exactly what needed to be done to hear that comment.
Totally.
Maybe
I always
underneath that derp, there's a lot of strategy.
Yeah, listen, like sometimes bricks, there's like a actually no, bricks are totally solid. Maybe like a rock and there's like a diamond in there somewhere. But yeah, no, I think like he's so good with people that for those types of projects, I don't worry because I know what he loves and like what he's capable of doing and like what he's comfortable with. It's definitely the projects that require a little more, I don't want to say training because we do work on that, but I guess more precision. Like when
Mm,
like things have to be done a certain way and like we have
right.
to get certain shots and like it's just like the stakes are a little higher. Like that's when I get stressed out and in the end it always ends up fine. But I mean like dogs aren't perfect. Like I won't lie, like Lumi's had slip ups where like he can't settle down and it's just like taking him a while to get him to sit and stay for like a good 30 seconds so that the camera can get this shot. And you know, like sometimes he doesn't listen and then he'll yell at me. Like he yells. Samoyeds yell at their like owners. Like it's a sass thing. It's a Spitz breed. I don't know. Like, you know, I'm sure you've experienced some of the sass.
Yeah, my Shiba used to do, at me,
Yeah. No, they're so
They're
but
very
rude.
opinionated.
Luke
No,
doesn't. He just kind of looks at me and he's like,
that's really nice. No, Lumi doesn't just look, he very much expresses how he's feeling. But yeah, I mean, like, of course, Lumi like has his moments where he's like, I don't want to listen right now. Like, I'm not gonna do this, and he'll yell and he'll like let his voice be heard. So, you know, obviously those aren't like our best moments, but dogs aren't perfect, and you just kind of got to remember that they're gonna have slip ups too.
You're so aware of it, and I love that you're such an advocate for him and that you care so much that you're making sure he's treated properly. I know that's something so
mm,
important that we were talking with Colleen Wilson from Pets on Q about last week. It's just we want to make sure that they're taken care of, and there are signs that they're giving us. Like they can't use words, but they do communicate with their body language, like how they're feeling. It's very
yeah.
similar to dog training. Like I'll do sessions with my foster dogs or other dogs through rescue, and we don't like to do more than 30 minutes because around 30, 40 minutes, the dog starts clocking out and is just telling you by not listening or misbehaving, like they're just done. And at that
Oh
point,
yeah,
they need a break. So it seems like there's something similar too when the dog is working with a brand or a partnership, something like that.
100%. No, and I still do training sessions with Lumi with his trainer. Her name's Anna. She used to work at School for the Dogs, and they sadly closed. But it's
Mm.
she works at Paws for Thought now.
Mm.
They actually, I think, sometimes teach at Muddy Paws headquarters. But
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I still we still do training sessions once every 2 weeks, because training doesn't end. Kind of like, mental health hygiene, like you can always better yourself. Same thing for dogs. And, like Lumi definitely has his issues, not for nothing, but like there are definitely things that we've been working on for a while that I don't maybe like put online because I guess I'm trying to show like a more joyful, like carefree image because I know that's what people come to our page for. Maybe I know like some people like wouldn't really care or like they don't really like that. And I have no problem being open about it, and I have on my stories before. Um, but yeah, there are definitely times where Lumi gets very overwhelmed if there are like loud sounds, and I know a lot of dogs do. And you can't predict those sometimes, but like you can do protocols and you can do things to make them a little more comfortable. So yeah, it's just like a never-ending journey, basically.
That's so real though, right? Because you're showing a beautiful image of your dog, but so many of us dog parents who don't have incredible followings for our dogs, like they're not perfect. Dogs aren't perfect, and we're all
Mhm.
doing our best. And I think it's so important to talk about these types of things because that's what the majority of us are probably struggling with. I mean, Yen and I
Mhm.
both have reactive dogs. We wish we could bring our dogs on a subway or in a crowded space and that they were happy to see everyone. The majority of our dogs are more fearful
Oh
of
man.
large groups of people
If
and
if
tell us.
if Luke could one day get into a backpack without ripping it the first second, that would be like a life dream come true. But to your point, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes in the creator journey that not a lot of people see. What are some things behind the scenes that are a lot of work that people don't see or they take for granted?
It's a really good question. You guys are like really freaking smart. Not that I didn't think you were, but like you really nailed the questions. I think because listen, like dogs have bad days just as people do, right? And sometimes you just don't know what sets a dog off and why a dog is having a bad day. Like they just can wake up sometimes and they're like, fuck. Like I don't know, like you just like hate the world. Um, but I think a lot of it is like I'm really training with Lumi like for half the day. Like when we're going on walks too, like he's not a great leash walker sometimes. I mean, I'll
Mm.
say it, like Samoyeds, they're partial sled dogs. Like they have a history of pulling. It's in their nature, like it's their breed. So I was well aware of that when I was looking for one. And a lot of that is like us training with him and like really taking the time, and like sometimes he doesn't want to work. Like that happens. Samoyeds are very sassy and they will tell you what they want. And it's kind of wrestling with that, saying like, okay, maybe like now's not the time to do this right now. Like maybe we start over in like a couple hours, and maybe I can't make a story right now because like he doesn't want to cooperate with me, and like I'm not trying to make him sit here and torture him. So a lot of it is also timing, and I think like that's something that people maybe not like take for granted, but just like don't know about creators is like timing is everything.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with a dog, like there's gonna be a time and a place to film something. And like if your dog isn't cooperating, like don't make them. Like that is not the time or the place.
Yes.
And sometimes you just have to
Thank
like come
you.
back. Sometimes you have to like wait a couple hours, let them nap it off or do something, take them for a long walk where they can sniff and basically tire their brain out. And then like you revisit it. Like I hate when people are like, that dog is not comfortable in that situation. Okay, like maybe they aren't, but it also just could be like right now they're not.
Mm.
Maybe you could revisit it at another time and like take it at a much slower pace, but like that doesn't mean never. So I just think a lot of like what creators deal with that people don't know with dog specific creators is just like timing is really important because you're working with an animal who like does not understand that.
Yeah. This is such a great piece of information for brands to understand as well,
Mm.
because the reason why creators ask for a certain span of time is because we're allowing for circumstances that might be unpredictable. And with kids and dogs, you're always going to get unpredictable little moments. And so if we have a
100%.
little bit more flexibility of time, that just makes everyone so comfortable. And so I really love that you stress this because as a whole, I think we can make working with dog creators a lot easier if there was a bit more organization from the brand side and a little bit more time. And they're going to get
Understanding.
what they want. Yeah,
Don't you love
exactly.
when the brand is like, "Can I have a turnaround time of 24 hours?" And I'm like, I just like ate breakfast. Like I don't even know what I'm doing for dinner. Like what do you mean 24 hours? Like it's just what are you talking about?
It is
That's crazy.
wild.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
because 24 hours, that's not just like getting the content, it's also like you have to edit it. Like you
Oh,
gotta color
debating my
it.
existence.
You have to put the captions on there. Like you have to optimize it. So I definitely understand how frustrating those situations can be. And I think, over time, it's also like communicating with the brands. And some of the really good brands that I work with totally understand this. And they are so mindful. And
Yep.
I'm so grateful to those brands. And I'm even like willing to give them more content for free because I'm like,
Oh yeah.
you gave me so much understanding and like time that I actually have time to give you an extra stories, like
Oh yeah.
literally for free because I love you guys.
Yeah, like I'll give you my kidney to sell. Like I love you. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah, what I want to say to these people. And
Damn,
then yeah,
Becky,
sometimes
I wouldn't give him my kitty.
you're like,
Like
okay, chill.
you love your brands.
Like just give me like another deal. Dog creators or creators that have dogs that are, like say doing a brand deal with a company trying to, get their dog in the video. Like I know this whole, job of being a dog creator is so new. Like it's what, 10 years old? Less? I mean,
I want to say specifically about 12 years old because I
12?
I started 10 years ago almost, and then there were creators before me that started
Yeah.
even earlier. So yeah, I mean,
Think
It's
about how
just
much has changed over the last 10 or 12 years.
exactly.
Like
oh my
crazy.
God, a
No,
lot
it's
has
just it's like
changed.
such a new job. Like we're still figuring it out. When brands or collaborators say like I need this by like end of day and you're like end of day. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just it's hard to imagine and just like understand why they're rushing and you're like I can't rush this.
Mm.
But I also understand like half the people don't know what they're doing because like this whole industry is like it just happened. Like it just
Yeah, it is
yeah.
it is brand spanking new and it's like
Mm.
crazy. I'm also a marketer and it's crazy how many brands are also just getting into this space and trying
Yeah.
to navigate what influencer partnerships even look like, how to do it.
Yep.
So hopefully us advocating for this is changing the landscape a little bit. And in the same vein, if someone were to start their account and they're like, "Oh, my dog is like hella cute and I feel like my dog's got star quality." What are some tips that you could give them?
God, I hate it when people say this to me, but it's so true. Um, don't try and do someone else's content because if it's not you, like you're not going to be able to keep up with it.
Mm,
Um, really lean into what you like and what your dog is comfortable with. I think that's also a huge thing. Like if your dog isn't comfortable like wearing clothes,
Mm,
probably not the best thing for you to do. You know what I mean?
mm.
Like probably the niche isn't right. If your dog doesn't like traveling, maybe that's not the best niche. Exploring and kind of seeing what happens. Like if you post a video and it doesn't do great, or, it wasn't really something you enjoyed, like, post it and then like move on. So I think a lot of it is like learning like what you and your dog love, and like cute little quirks your dog does, like lean into it. Like don't be afraid to like, really make a bunch of content out of that, because people love watching similar things over and over again. And if you're gonna really capitalize on something, like really dive into it. So I think finding a niche, especially that like you and your dog are comfortable with, or like you kind of have like a history with, that's worth exploring.
These are great tips. And I too hate hearing that, but I know that it's real because
Oh
at the
yeah.
end of the day, like if you're going to do something day in, day out, and it's something that you don't organically enjoy, it's going to be so hard to sustain that. But if it's already something you're into, like if you're already super obsessed with your dog and taking videos of them napping, then like do it.
Yeah.
Like that's
Like
your niche.
there was actually, I just remember this, but about 6 months ago, I am forgetting how I even ran into this person. It was maybe at a friend's party, and they were showing me that their cat loves to like open the fridge on their own and then like go sleep in the fridge. I was like, oh my God, like this would totally go viral. Like of just different ways the cat gets into the fridge. Like capitalize on that shit. Like that's so freaking funny. Just stuff like that.
Wow.
Like there's just so many
It's
different types of
unique.
videos
Yeah.
that you could make. That's an example
Yes.
of what I mean by like if your dog or cat or whatever has like a funny little habit, or like
Exactly.
Quirk.
a quirk that
Mm-hmm.
they do, oh my God, post it. Like people literally are obsessed with it. And then like you'll find ways to build on it. Like it'll come naturally. Like when we were just doing the backpack thing, I was already trying to think of my that next thing,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always happen. Like sometimes it just like flows. Like through doing the backpack stuff, I was like, oh well, like what are places we can then go in New York City to like continue the journey, and then like make people want to come along with us and see what we're doing. And then that kind of just like led to me and Lumi like naturally exploring New York City. And then that was kind of just like another video that we started. Like it'll just naturally unfold from there. But yeah, like starting with like a quirk or something like really funny that your dog does or that you guys like to do together, like it's gold.
100% agree. Should we get into the quick fire questions?
Can I ask one other thing? And I we were talking about it before we jumped on to start recording, but we're big advocates for adoption and rescue. We have shared friends in Korean Canine and Muddy
Yeah.
Paws. You got Lumi from a breeder.
Yeah.
It seems like you did a lot of research, having wanted a Samoyed for 10 years. Can you talk a little bit about what that process is like and understanding like what Samoyeds are like? Because I too often, this is one of the soapboxes I get on, but people should not add dogs to their family or adopt a dog based on a look.
Oh my God.
You really need to be able to meet the dog's needs, and
Yeah.
needs are specific to their genetic breeds and their makeup. So
Mm.
I would be remiss not to ask you about it, given, you have such a unique and special dog.
Yeah. Oh my God. When you said don't get a dog based on look, like too many times do I get messages saying like, "Oh my God, like where can I get a Samoyed? Like they're so pretty. I love them." Like I understand what they're saying. But I hate that because yeah, never should you get a dog based on their look. That is how dogs are then given up. And it's horrible. That's why there are
Yeah.
so many huskies, because everyone loves the look of huskies, and then they're like, "Oh my God, this dog is like too high maintenance. This breed is too much. I can't handle it." And then like the amount of huskies in shelters is ridiculous.
Preach. Yep.
Um, but I will never forget when I first saw Samoyed. I was 11 years old, and it was at the bottom of a ski mountain, and it was like blizzarding out, and I was with my best friend, and I saw Samoyed in the distance, and it looked like a wolf. Like I was like, "Oh my God, that's a wolf on a leash." It was so beautiful. And
Yeah.
it honestly like it wasn't even, yes, it was the look, but it wasn't even fully that. It was just like the energy that it was giving off, and like there was people next to it, and it was like wagging its tail, and it was saying hi, and like you could tell how happy it was to be around people. And I was like, I'm gonna get a dog like that. Like that's my next dog. And my friend was like, yeah, okay, Jackie. Like, and I was like, no, 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 I'm gonna get one. Like I didn't know what they were called at the time. I later found out they're called Samoyeds. And from that point on, I researched them until I literally graduated college. So like, I guess 11 years. Um, and no, I'm crazy. And then that's when basically me and Ben moved in together, and I was like, oh, we're getting a Samoyed, whether you like it or not. And he was like, okay. Um, and I researched breeders for almost 4 years. And the thing is, you should never settle on your first breeder. You should always look around because you have to make sure that there's genetic testing, health
Mm,
testing, that the parents are in the right age for them to be like
Right.
impregnated or breeding. Um, like making retired dogs or dogs out of age who are like 8 having puppies, like there's risks. Um, and also just how the breeders themselves, like how they treat the puppies when they're born, because that also matters. Like handling is super important when a puppy is born. Like they need to be able to be turned around and touched, and their paws need to be felt. Like the first like 6 weeks of that period is so crucial to like the physical and
Yes.
mental stimulation of a puppy.
mhm.
And if the breeder's not going to take the time to do that, not a good breeder. So like doing that research and like asking them those questions is so important, because ethical breeding, that is and should be the only way that dogs come into this life. And there are a lot of really bad breeders. Like there's actually um a really bad breeder in the state of Connecticut. I don't know how they're not shut down. They breed Samoyeds, and constantly I'm hearing horror stories about this breeder. Genetic problems. Samoyeds can actually have eye problems if the genetics aren't tested and they're not health tested, that come out of that breeder. Skin problems, hip
Mm.
dysplasia. Like if a breeder's not testing for that, or if they're not being fully transparent and honest with you and not showing the proof, like not showing you the paperwork, like don't even waste your time, really.
These are some really great tips of red flags that you need to identify if they're not willing to show you the paperwork, if they're not willing to show you the parents or reveal their age,
Yeah.
um, if they're uncomfortable with you coming over and looking at the situation and at the scene.
Yep.
All of these are kind of good things to look out for. So thank you for sharing
Yes.
that. It's very,
Thank
very
you.
important.
No, of course. And listen, like adopting is like an incredible experience, and I will adopt my next dog. I've said that. But yes, like if you are looking for a certain type of dog that matches your lifestyle, there is nothing wrong with looking for an ethical breeder and really doing your homework on it and
Yeah.
really understanding like what you are in for and why you want that certain type of dog. Like for getting a Samoyed, like I said, they're very sassy and they're very high maintenance, not in some of the ways people might think. Yes, the grooming is very high maintenance. That's very obvious. And I was very aware of that. I knew signing up for this, I was like, I'm going to be brushing this dog 3 times a week. But like they are kind of a mix, to put this simply, a mix between a golden retriever's personality and a husky's personality. They're like halfway in the middle. Like, because they do love people like a golden retriever does. They do love people. They love
My
to interact with
heart.
people, but sometimes they don't want to listen to you, and it's kind of like up yours, you know? And that's like the husky aspect. So like I knew that. And I think that's also another thing, understanding the personalities of the parents, when you're looking
Yeah.
for years, like what are the parents like? That's something that you really have to look into. Like that was a huge thing too.
Mm.
Um, Parents genetic testing, their health issues, their personality, how long the grandparents lived for. Like you can never ask a breeder too many questions. If they're not willing to answer your questions, they're not worth your time.
Yes,
Yes.
ask as many questions as you possibly can. And I really truly believe that people that love dogs and are breeding responsibly would be happy to share that because that's the work they've been doing and that's
Yeah,
the work they've put into it. So,
for pride and joy.
exactly,
Yes.
they would wear it like a badge of honor to share these stories and information. Well, that's all the questions that we have for today. Jackie, thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us if people are enamored with you, Ben, and Lumi, where is the best channel that they can come find you?
Well, if you're asking. Instagram. Instagram, I feel like we are posting just our usual fun content 4 days a week, Little Bear Lumi, but also my username is the same on every social media platform. So like if you're gonna go look on TikTok or YouTube, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. But Instagram would be awesome. Would love to see you there. We love answering messages and seeing your comments. It's a fun time. You'll see my derpy dog. It's great.
Free serotonin, y'all.
Love it.
And
Thank you guys for having me. This was
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you for
Thank
joining us.
you.
And thanks to everyone for tuning in today. Stay tuned for another episode of Myth Barkers.
Bye.